Our beloved 8% Hard AF Seltzer is now live in over 1,200 locations across the United States. We're now available in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Ohio, and Texas. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, enter your city or zip, and find the nearest location closest to you.
Live from our studios in Austin, Texas, this is Drinkin' Bros Fake News with Ross Patterson, Dan Hollaway, Papa G with the traffic,
How you feel?
Not good.
Yeah?
field reporter Hot Bob, and Delco Dan with sports. Welcome to Fake News.
Yeah, welcome to Drinkin' Bros Fake News, everybody, bringing you the realest, fakest news of the week. Got the Super Bowl on Sunday, D'Anthony, doing a live Super Bowl show tomorrow with Uncle Laser and the biggest piece of shit on earth, Gary Faust.
Yeah, he is.
Just got out of jail.
For littering.
Just got out of jail.
That's just karma.
Again.
To get arrested for littering is you've angered someone.
Oh, God, it's so good. It's right around noon Central on Drinkin' Bros Sports tomorrow. All the picks. Actually, Delco, we'll put the audio on Drinkin' Bros feed as well. I know everybody's gambling on it. My bookie's on the show today, mybookie.com. I will give my pick during that ad read, but record amount of money bet on the Super Bowl. They're doing all these prop bets for Taylor Swift, including my bookie. We'll read those off tomorrow. Also, if you're heading out to a Super Bowl party this weekend, which everyone is, grab a 12-pack of Hard AF Seltzer. I know they were sold out initially in Texas on the first run. Stocked up, 1,000 cases just dropped here today. So tomorrow they're doing a free tasting at Total Wine out in Euless. Euless. It is west of Dallas out there.
Yeah. I mean, it's
4 to 7 o'clock tomorrow.
It's Texas, so there's no real guess as to how you pronounce that.
I like Euless.
Well, I mean, like Bayer County. It's Spanglish a lot, right? Mm-hmm. So you have a soft X in the middle of a word here. It's like, well, this is America.
Sure.
We don't do that
The
here.
problem with this one is it's a soft E and U there, with Euless.
So it's just AIDS?
I think so. I think it's in AIDS, Texas. No, it's Euless, Texas. It is just west of Dallas, it says, in 2501 Rio Grande Boulevard. 76039, 4 to 7, free tasting of Hard AF Seltzer at Total Wines there. Our sales rep, Ryan Mills, will be there. He might have the cowboy hat on. He might not, but you can have a tasting, take a 12-pack home, and enjoy the fucking Super Bowl. Let's go, dude. I'm amped. I'm hyped up today. I'm hyped for tomorrow's show, too. I've won the last 6 in a row. I don't plan on fucking losing this weekend either, although Vegas has it the other way there, which is crazy. And again, we'll get to that, but that's not the top story of the day, brother. It's Papa John Trump. I left out the Donald on purpose, dude. I like Papa John Trump. You think he's ever said the N-word? Me neither. I mean, what's that?
You mean like this week?
It's probably in like a Morgan Wallen sitch, He was leaving, the golf course. Maybe sit it out.
I mean, he's a rich white man,
He is.
So yeah,
He is.
for 100%.
He does a lot for the black community. He pardoned Lil Wayne and Kodak Black, for Christ's sakes. I mean, that
really trickled down to the rest of the black community too.
It's sure. Well, he tried with the platinum plan, and they were like, "Nah, bro, we're not doing that." And I'm like, "What the fuck, bro? Let him give out some money." Let him toss it out like those rolls of paper towels to Puerto Rico.
No, let's not do that.
I like that a lot. That's my favorite. That's one of my favorite Trump moments. Was him shooting jumpers right after those people got wrecked by that hurricane. I don't even know why we own Puerto Rico. Still haven't figured that one out. What do they do for us?
During the Spanish-American War, it was a big port for us, defensive port. So they don't do shit for us, though. They
No, they
pay
don't do
federal
anything.
taxes. They have a fake member of Congress. That's about it.
That's it, right?
And every time there's a natural disaster, we got to spend a couple of bill redoing it.
Yeah.
But, you know.
We don't get anything out of it.
You can move your business down there and operate tax-free.
You can. The Paul brothers did it. And they seem to be doing just fine down there.
George
so
Hill's
good for
parents
them.
did it, too.
Yeah. Top story of the day. SCOTUS hearing arguments on Trump. Supreme Court oral arguments Thursday could shed light on what's at stake for Congress in a case about a Colorado decision to bar Donald Trump from appearing on the state primary ballots based on the 14th Amendment. The justices last month agreed to take up the issue, but did little to clarify which of the numerous legal arguments might ultimately shape their opinion in a historic election dispute. Several possible decisions could leave Congress with an opening to weigh in on Trump's eligibility. Legal experts say, including the possibility of a partisan showdown as Congress counts electoral ballots in January 2025. While the justices aren't expected to rule today, I think they will, actually. I think they will.
Today?
I think so, right?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they don't want to get overshadowed by Tucker's interview. But
Did that just drop?
Not yet. It will later.
Okay. Bob, where are we at on that? Did SCOTUS make a ruling on this thing?
I haven't seen one yet.
Okay. I'm going to pop
This
on
is,
over here.
By the way, different than the SCOTUS Trump thing we were talking about yesterday, for those who might be confused.
Correct. Yeah, this is, look at Joel in the background setting up Crime Corner for later on. It's a nice Drinkin Bros backdrop. We don't use that enough here. Look at that. Thumbs up from Joel.
On the road. Yeah.
9-0 Trump is trending right now on Twitter. Did they not give it to him? Is it where are we at on this? And then where do you think this is going to land?
Yeah, I mean, I would be surprised if it's not 8-1, 9-0, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no legal standing for any of this shit. It's a reach. It's a reach. It's a bigger reach than even Trump is trying with the executive privilege stuff. So, yeah, that's not going to happen.
I don't think that's a reach.
Plus,
It definitely is.
No.
It's definitely a reach because it's just out of context. He wasn't operating in his capacity as president, but in this regard, like trying to use the 14th Amendment for this is fucking stupid. The idea that he engaged in insurrection, I mean, all the data we have, you don't see him ordering anybody to go do any of this shit. They've examined the text of everybody, like put 400 plus people in prison for this shit, right?
Another 1,200 have been arrested.
Yeah. And not one of them has anybody from the Trump campaign or a PAC or Trump himself or anybody in his family telling people to go fucking do shit.
Yeah.
Right? All you see is the public stuff where he says, don't. Mm-hmm. So this is fucking retarded.
Yeah, this doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I mean, I understand why it had to come before the Supreme Court here. Obviously, the election's coming up in the fall. If they were to give this to Colorado and say, yeah, you can take them off the ballot, then, every liberal state would do this.
Yeah, sure. But, he's not going to win Colorado anyways, to be honest.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
Not one fucking prayer. No, it's full retard.
that would be the first time he won it if he won it this year.
No shit.
Well, I mean, yeah.
How close was it last election in 2020? If you believe in it, obviously. But 2016, he didn't win it?
He won by 13%.
Yeah, 40. It was 55.5 to 41.9 for Biden,
which is a blowout.
It's a blowout, yeah. And that was in 2020? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then what about 2016?
Biden improved 8 percentage points on Hillary Clinton, according to that. So Clinton
really?
Yeah.
So they picked Hillary too.
It was 47-44 in 16.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
So they went for Hillary as well. I wonder though if the tune will change after all these migrants have been there fucking up the state.
Maybe. I mean, their population centers are pretty. It's just Denver and Colorado Springs and a couple of other places, right? Which are, I mean, the Blueies moved from LA there a lot, so we'll see how that went. But they are kind of pissed off. So
yeah, I was watching some of this earlier this morning. Some of these proceedings there. Judge Kavanaugh in particular said, "Look, Trump wasn't charged with insurrection. Still hasn't been charged with insurrection. Therefore, how can you use this part of the the Constitution to say that. I think this will be. I know 9-0 is trending right now on Twitter, but there's going to be one or two holdouts, right?
Yeah, I mean, Kentanji Jimalita Laquandrius Jackson, whatever the fuck her stupid ass name is.
Jumanji.
She doesn't know what a woman is, so who knows what the fuck she's going to do.
Exactly.
She made a shit in her hand and throw it at somebody.
Which would be awesome.
Be funnier than what she's been doing.
Yeah, I'd be down to see that. Any human that's willing to take a shit in their hand and then throw it at another person, I'm in for.
Yeah.
Regardless of the outcome there. But yeah, I think this will be a win. CNN cut to Trump. Trump's currently doing a press conference from Mar-a-Lago right now. I think he's got it. Now, what they're going to do towards the election and everything, who fucking knows, dude? Who fucking knows what some of these states are going to do?
Yeah, I mean, look, the last time, so Pennsylvania broke federal law last election to change their voting requirements within, 2 weeks, 3 weeks of the election or something like that, which is against federal law. And the FEC, the Federal Election Commission, is supposed to come in and take control of their elections after that. It happened in Alabama because of some racist shit they did back in the day. And the FEC took control of their elections for a while and then monitored them very closely for some time after. We haven't seen any of that from this version of the FEC, despite rampant fucking mail-in weirdness, right? Mm-hmm. So,
yeah. So I look, even if they fucking rule in his favor, which they will, I don't know how these elections are going to shake out this fall. I know our election show that night is going to be a banger. Mm-hmm. How many drugs do you think we should get for that? Just a full brick? Are we going Pusha T on that night, or what are we doing?
I don't know who that is.
There's a rapper.
Rappist. Yeah. I have no idea who Pusha T is, and I don't care. I don't want it to be explained to me.
He used to sell a lot of cocaine.
Oh, rapper?
A lot of cocaine, yeah.
No shit.
Selling cocaine out of a rapper? You don't say. Who is this rapper you speak of? It's
well,
Pusha
I mean,
T.
so did Tim the Toolman Taylor, you know.
Well, he was doing it too, brother.
So was I. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying I'm not
No,
shocked.
me neither. Me neither. Well, you're talking about Tim Allen.
I said what I said. Tim the Toolman Taylor. That's his name.
Tim the Rat.
He was a rat.
He was a rat, dude.
I do judge him for that.
I did too. I did too. But if he did go to prison and didn't rat, we wouldn't have gotten years of laughter out of Tim Allen over there. But yeah, this will probably go down soon, and then it's over after that. Still waiting on this Nikki Haley shit that you and I were talking about the other day. Was this the last ditch effort for her? Like hoping that maybe they would rule against it?
I don't know. She said she's not giving up, but she's not going to quit until South Carolina, which is if she ever
2 weeks away.
If she ever wants to run for anything again, I think she should drop out before South Carolina.
I agree.
Because she's going to get fucking smoked, and it's going to look really bad. I mean, it's been pretty rare throughout history that a presidential candidate in a primary has lost their home state. I don't even think Trump lost the New York primary when he ran, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like really, really rare for a major candidate to lose their home state in a primary. Even the general. Trump obviously lost New York both times. But people that are from real states don't very often lose. Neither do even vice presidents usually win where they come from, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons you get put on the ticket in the first place. So
yeah, although actually sometimes doesn't. Al Gore didn't win Tennessee in 2000. I don't think they won it in 96 either. But yeah, it depends.
That's right. It was Bush. He was up against Bush in 2000 there, yeah. Tennessee's pretty Republican. I don't think they flipped. I remember watching the Taylor Swift thing, and they were like, oh, she's going to change the governor. She didn't fucking do that. She didn't change the fucking governor. Next up, Tucker Carlson in the Vladimir Putin interview is supposed to drop tonight at 6 p.m. EST. Tucker's interview with old Vladdy will be live on his brand new site. This is the TCN, right? Tucker Carlson Network.
I think it's just TuckerCarlson.com. I don't know what the fuck that's all about.
So that's his media company that he's going to create and then have it feels like a Daily Wire, at least from the press release that I read. But this will be the first one off of his. So is he not doing this on Twitter then as well?
I think it'll also be on Twitter, but I don't know if it'll be on the site first and then on Twitter or something like that. Who knows? But
Okay.
it'll definitely be on Twitter at some point.
Yeah, now, some of the stuff Tucker said in his preview to the show is wrong. A lot of the journalists have attempted to interview Putin, and some have actually done it.
Yeah, before we get into this, the last link on this, Bob, go ahead and click that, and let's hear from Tucker why he's doing this in the first place, and then we'll address some of the inaccuracies.
Yeah, because I saw this too. Go ahead.
We're in Moscow tonight. We're here to interview the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin. We'll be doing that soon. There are risks to conducting an interview like this, obviously, so we've thought about it carefully over many months. Here's why we're doing it. First, because it's our job. We're in journalism. Our duty is to inform people. 2 years into a war that's reshaping the entire world, most Americans are not informed. They have no real idea what's happening in this region, here in Russia or 600 miles away in Ukraine. But they should know. They're paying for much of it in ways they might not fully yet perceive. The war in Ukraine is a human disaster. It's left hundreds of thousands of people dead, an entire generation of young Ukrainians, and it's depopulated the largest country in Europe. But the long-term effects are even more profound. This war has utterly reshaped the global military and trade alliances, and the sanctions that followed have as well. And in total, they have upended the world economy. The post-World War II economic order, the system that guaranteed prosperity in the West for more than 80 years, is coming apart very fast, and along with it, the dominance of the US dollar. These are not small changes. They are history-altering developments. They will define the lives of our grandchildren. Most of the world understands this perfectly well. They can see it. Ask anyone in Asia or the Middle East what the future looks like. And yet the populations of the English-speaking countries seem mostly unaware. They think that as nothing has really changed. And they think that because no one has told them the truth. Their media outlets are corrupt. They lie to their readers and viewers. And they do that mostly by omission. For example, since the day the war in Ukraine began, American media outlets have spoken to scores of people from Ukraine, and they have done scores of interviews with Ukrainian President Zelensky. We ourselves have put in a request for an interview with Zelensky, and we hope he accepts. But the interviews he's already done in the United States are not traditional interviews. They are fawning pep sessions specifically designed to amplify Zelensky's demand that the U.S. enter more deeply into a war in Eastern Europe and pay for it. That is not journalism. It is government propaganda. Propaganda of the ugliest kind, the kind that kills people. At the same time, our politicians and media outlets have been doing this, promoting a foreign leader like he's a new consumer brand. Not a single Western journalist has bothered to interview the president of the other country involved in this conflict, Vladimir Putin. Most Americans have no idea why Putin invaded Ukraine or what his goals are now. They've never heard his voice. That's wrong. Americans have a right to know all they can about a war they're implicated in, and we have the right to tell them about it because we are Americans too. Freedom of speech is our birthright. We were born with the right to say what we believe. That right cannot be taken away no matter who is in the White House. But they're trying anyway. Almost 3 years ago, the Biden administration illegally spied on our text messages and then leaked the contents to their servants in the news media. They did this in order to stop a Putin interview that we were planning. Last month, we're pretty certain they did exactly the same thing once again. But this time, we came to Moscow anyway. We are not here because we love Vladimir Putin. We are here because we love the United States, and we want it to remain prosperous and free. We paid for this trip ourselves. We took no money from any government or group, nor are we charging people to see the interview. It is not behind a paywall. Anyone can watch the entire thing, shot live to tape and unedited, on our website, tuckercarlson.com. Elon Musk, to his great credit, has promised not to suppress or block this interview once we post it on his platform, X, and we're grateful for that. Western governments, by contrast, will certainly do their best to censor this video on other less principled platforms because that's what they do. They are afraid of information they can't control. But you have no reason to be afraid of it. We are not encouraging you to agree with what Putin may say in this interview, but we are urging you to watch it. You should know as much as you can, and then Like a free citizen and not a slave, you can decide for yourself. Thanks.
Yeah, so a lot of journalists have attempted to do interviews with Putin.
Correct.
In some cases, they gave the Kremlin gave requirements that the journalists weren't willing to make, so on and so forth. And then in some cases, they actually did interview him. There's a 2021 interview with Putin. It was before this shit kicked off, but there was an interview with him on, I think it was on fucking NBC Nightly News or some shit. I don't remember which outlet it was, but the Russian presidential press secretary, Dmitry Peskov, said, "No, Mr. Carlson's wrong. In fact, he cannot know this. We received many requests for interviews with the president, but mainly when it concerns the countries of the collective West, we are talking about large online media, traditional TV channels, large newspapers, which cannot boast of attempts to at least look impartial in terms of covering what is happening." So I don't know why he added that part, that nobody's trying to interview the guy. Maybe he means that, and he kind of alluded to it, it's like the interviews that have happened have been weird. You know what I mean? Like Megyn Kelly did it for NBC, and it's like, "Are you a killer?" Like,
Sure.
did you ask fucking Obama that when he was the fucking president of the United States? Weird, man. It's weird, and I'm glad that Tucker's doing this because more information is better than less.
I agree. Yeah.
And I'm still waiting for someone from the national security state to explain to me exactly how Putin invaded Ukraine is different than the United States invading Iraq and staying there for 20 years, right? I'm just standing by for an answer to that one.
That's what I don't get either. And, we've said this on the show for, 2 years or as long as this war's been going on. This is someone else's fight. They decided to invade this country. Why the fuck do we have to help Ukraine? It's not like Ukraine's ever done anything for us. As far as Tucker goes, you and I kind of chatted about this briefly this week. Do you think he's going to be able to ask whatever he wants and gets honest answers out of Putin?
I think he'll probably ask whatever he wants. Otherwise, he wouldn't be doing it. Getting honest answers out of a fucking colonel from the KGB? Come on, man.
No, and that I understand. Second part of this that people were going ham on Tucker about is the fact that he says, because we're journalists in this video, and people were saying, hey, well, is Tucker Carlson a real journalist? It's a great question. I don't know what journalism is anymore because our traditional media outlets have failed us for years and years and years at this point. Is what he's doing journalism because he's doing it on his own versus a traditional media outlet? I don't know. That can be debated. We've heard that about this show before. And they're like, hey, you guys are reporting on It's like, no. This isn't an opinion-based podcast. We're not the fucking news. We'll read it to you, and then we'll give our own spin on what the stories are. But I would never consider myself a journalist. I don't know about you.
No. I mean, I do break news from time to time, but I'm just repeating shit that I heard. I don't do I'll do analysis. I don't do presentation of facts that much. Real journalists are people like Glenn Greenwald, Matt Taibbi, Michael Schellenberger, people like that, right? Yeah, people that fucking investigate things like a detective would, and then they tell the public, right? And I don't think Tucker doesn't really do. He has good interviews, right?
Well, he used to, but he also, when he was at Fox, he had endless producers at his, disposal and a team and all that other stuff, so they could do the research. What he was doing was journalism on Fox. Who's to say that isn't the same here? I guess because I think he did take his entire team from Fox with him on his new venture. Less, yeah. So to the people that said that, I would consider Tucker a journalist. So I mean, he's as much a journalist as anybody else out there, especially the people that are criticizing him. And that's been the funniest part of this is the media response. Politicians calling him a Russian agent, Kinzinger calling him a traitor. Kinzinger's got the Ukrainian and the Israeli flag in his bio, and he was an American Air Force member. It's like, you're a traitor, bud. Those aren't your countries. No.
What the fuck are you doing? And then John Kirby's bitch ass today pretty much said, "Don't click the first link there, Bob, and bring this video up because this is really funny." When the people that you can't trust, the people that you should have a righteous indignation for are telling you not to believe what someone says, it's a good idea to pay attention to what they say.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Do you have any concern that Tucker Carlson's interview with Vladimir Putin could further erode support for Ukraine aid in the United States?
We're convinced that there is strong bipartisan support on Capitol Hill for supporting Ukraine. And we know there's efforts now to bring something up onto the Senate floor for a vote that would have Ukraine, Israel, Indo-Pacific, and humanitarian assistance, so supplemental funding in it, and without the border. We'll let senators work that out. The president believes that support for Ukraine is critical, particularly right now, as Russia continues to try to hit their defense industrial base, continue to hit their units on that battlefront from east to south. It's vital, and he's confident that, and based on the meetings he's had with leaders on Capitol Hill and the discussions he's had, certainly over recent weeks, that again, the leadership, even on the House side, the leadership is solidly in support of supporting Ukraine. Now, how they're going to be affected or impacted by a television interview, I couldn't begin to guess.
I guess I'm asking beyond just Congress, among the American people, many of whom, watch Tucker Carlson's show and are inclined already to be skeptical of American support for Ukraine. Would hearing directly from Putin potentially erode that further, not just in the halls of Congress, but among the people?
I think the American people know well who's at fault here. And I think they know that there was no grounds whatsoever for the invasion on February 22nd, 2 years ago. He invaded a neighboring country without provocation. Ukraine wasn't a threat to anybody, and the American people understand that. And the American people understand what Ukraine's fighting for. And all they're asking for is our help. They're not asking for American boots on the ground. Again, I don't think the American people are going to be swayed by one single interview. And I think anybody that watches that interview, again, I haven't seen whatever's said, need to make sure remember, you're listening to Vladimir Putin. And you shouldn't take at face value anything he has to say.
Yeah, you can cut this. So, we should believe John Kirby more than somebody else.
Yeah, this fucking guy has lied about everything.
He has lied about everything. He lied about Afghanistan. He's lied about Ukraine the entire time. He's lied about Israel. He's lied about the Biden administration's commitment to protecting both the border, using the military, and our fucking foreign operations, including posting up against China in defense of Taiwan. He's lied about everything. Yeah. And he's not just lied, but been wrong about everything as well. So I can make it like it's funny how he responded to the first question. It was like, well, there's bipartisan support for Ukraine on the Hill. On the Hill, nobody in the United States public gives two fucks about Ukraine. Not one of them. No. People that are going to the ATM and seeing their low balance, going to the grocery store and seeing prices 30% higher than they were fucking 3 years ago, they don't give a fuck about Ukraine, nor should they.
I agree. And as far as journalism goes with interviewing Putin, Bob, I just sent you via Twitter. Just check your DMs on Twitter there. The interview that CNN did with Zelensky recently.
Where the woman starts crying?
We'll pop it up now and play it.
Like, are you fucking kidding me,
What's the difference here, and why are we doing this? Go into your Twitter, Bob, and pull this up. And go ahead and pop this up on screen, because that's the other part where the people who from CNN that were saying he's not a real journalist and all that other shit. Cool. Well, is this real journalism? Because this is what you actually had on fucking screen here.
Human being, so many people look up to you. They rely on you. No one can imagine how hard that is. Do you do anything for yourself? Are you ever able to take a minute to read or to listen to music or something to sort of give yourself that a moment?
I have such moments important to be in silence.
What is this?
And early in the morning.
Did they really make this?
It did, but somebody online scored it to this, but this was a real interview.
Why do they keep cutting back to her making faces and shit?
I can just read, think.
I don't think.
And the music house.
Well, it's the Ultra Mega Party cut. So,
I like.
Yeah, they added the music.
They added the music.
They added
I
the
don't
cuts.
understand all the words.
Yes, that's them. That's
yeah.
But I like the music. Yeah, I like.
So it's a little tuned up.
God. Dude.
Either way, if that's what we're
they're not photoshopping it. They're just zooming on her fucking face.
Look at that freeze frame right there, Bob. Look at the fucking smile on her face.
Yeah, she's like gonna chug his dong right after the interview.
I mean, it looked like it was getting close.
By the way, as far as a lot of people seeing him as a hero, Klitschko wants to get rid of him, right? Has said so publicly. And then his Secretary of Defense, quit today because he's a cunt.
Shit.
Yeah. It's like, come on, nobody thinks this little fucking midget cunt is a hero. Nobody thinks this guy who was dancing in drag a couple of years ago is a fucking hero. Give me a fucking break. He's been dressed in like OD green for the last 2 years, and he hasn't picked up a fucking rifle in his life. What a piece of shit, dude. I mean, you can, like, legit, Bob knows about this too. The founding fathers, even the older ones, when they would travel like overseas and shit like that, would be armed, right? On the ships. They would defend the ships. They would work the cannons, all this other stuff. None of these motherfuckers, and Jared talks about this all the time, you should have to be a combat veteran to serve in office in this country, in my opinion, right? You at least, provided we've been to combat in a reasonable amount of time, but you should at least have to have served in the military or something, shown some kind of commitment to the country that puts your life and your liberty at risk, and not just like, because listen to this fucking bullshit about people on the Hill agree we should do this. No one fucking cares. You're not a trustee of the public trust. You're a representative. It says it in your fucking name, Crenshaw. God damn it, man.
The other part of this too, and I agree with you on having to serve, and especially in combat, is it gives you a different perspective of what war actually is. So instead of making these decisions on whether or not you're going to help out these fucking dipshit countries that do nothing for us, then you can make a smart, reasonable decision and be like, all right, great. Are we sending $80 billion to this country, and why? Because of what could potentially happen. Yeah. With this, let's say Russia ends up steamrolling Ukraine and takes over the whole fucking country. How would that change our day-to-day lives?
It would change the UN getting wheat to Africa. But then again, Russia and China dominate Africa. So is it our business?
Is it?
I know.
No. So
no, we should. I've said this for a very long time. We should definitely go back to the Monroe Doctrine. People think that it's just isolationism. We were the North and South American hegemon under the Monroe Doctrine, right? Unless somebody came into our space, like Cuba, the Caribbean, somewhere like that, or Upper South America or Central America or North America, obviously, we didn't fucking do anything because it was none of our fucking business. I mean, it took a lot to get us involved in World War I. A lot. We were late to that party in a lot of ways. Even World War II, we were late to that party. World War II too, right? Yeah. So, and the reason was because war is a break in glass in case of emergency situation. It is not just a fucking willy-nilly option. What has happened over the past several goddamn decades is to quote-unquote defeat the Russians, which was a ludicrous idea in the first place, because defeat them for what? Cuba wants to be a communist? Fucking go for it, bud. I don't give a fuck what you do in Cuba and your shithole little country. Who fucking cares? Once they started trying to put missiles down there, that's a problem, right?
Yeah.
But that was in response to Jupiter missiles in Europe that we were aiming at fucking Moscow. So what did we expect was going to happen there? But anyways, we built this military-industrial complex, and people are like, oh, man, all right, good, we won the war. Now we can just fucking shut it all down. No, bud, nope. That's not how it went down, is it? Like we fucking, the Cold War ended, and what happened literally within 1 year of the Cold War, we're in Somalia.
Yep.
Right? And then within a year and a half, we're in fucking Kuwait and Saudi Arabia getting ready to go into Iraq. Right?
Yeah.
And then after that, it's like, now we'll shut it down for a while. No, we bomb Iraq, we bomb Yemen, we bomb Syria, all throughout the 90s, and then we're in Serbia and Kosovo now. Fuck, man. And then 9/11, now we're in fucking war for another 20 years. That war machine controls this goddamn country. It is the ultimate wag the dog. And that's how it's been going on for all this time. And it's because these politicians only stand to benefit. All they do is stay in power and make more money. That's how it works. So if you're a member of Congress and you sign a declaration of war, then you have to go. You or your fucking children have to go. That should be in the Constitution.
And that's the one statement I will agree with John Kirby on, and it's probably the only statement he's ever made that I agree with him on, where he says there is strong bipartisan support on the Hill for these fucking aid and funding to Ukraine and Israel.
Yeah,
yes,
because they're
is.
getting fucking kickbacks.
Sure is.
Oh, $50 million went missing. You don't think an American got a taste of that? Fuck off, dude.
They all did. They all did. Right and left. They all got a fucking taste of it. Even fucking Crenshaw. I watched his bullshit interview the other day of, chiding the Republicans for not wanting to sign this border bill. Come on, guys, we gotta fucking do this. What? I don't understand. And it's like, take the fucking foreign aid for these stupid wars out of there. Then, make it about the border and people will sign. Like, I don't understand what the he's getting paid for this shit.
The Senate passed a bill this morning, I think, that just funds Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan, and something else.
Did they really?
It was a $96 billion bill, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, at least he's a combat veteran, right?
Who?
Crenshaw.
Yeah. Wasn't very good at it, apparently. Sorry. The goal is to not get shot, just so we're all clear on how war works.
That's Dan Hollaway. That's Dan Hollaway, guys.
So anti-Purple Heart?
It's not one that you really want, bud. If there was a list of awards, you were like, you know what, I'm going to get me one of them. That's not it, bud.
I made this mistake a long time ago. I think when we started this show, I called somebody a Medal of Honor winner, and I was quickly correct. It was Marcus Luttrell. He goes, "Hey, bud, you don't win anything for this. I can promise you that." And I was like, "Oh no, shit!" And he was like, "No, it's the worst day of your life. Is what your award for." I was like, "Okay." Oh man, that's funny as shit. He's a big fan of the show, Crenshaw.
No, he actually he texts our friends all the time. Why are they talking so much shit?
No.
It's because you're a fucking loser, dude. Jesus Christ, man! You fucking kidding me?
Dan, this hatred, by the way, for Dan is so real that when the Crenshaw interview popped up, because you can go through the catalog, we sent Jared. Jared went and did it. Jared went down to Washington and interviewed him in his office over there. So it's a fun. They're still texting buds.
Jared was in his campaign video, right?
He made it.
He made it.
Where
he directed
it. He goes and beats up Antifa.
He directed the fucking video. And that's the wild thing about this, Bob. We can talk about it now because you're able to see. We've got some listeners here on the show. We were talking about shit. We've been on the air. This is our 9th year on the air. And at this point, we've interviewed, I feel like, everybody or been a part of everything. So with Crenshaw, when these guys get elected, you think, all right, great. We're going to do the right thing. We're going to elect this guy. He's going to do the right thing for our country. And then he doesn't. And you're
well,
like,
he's an officer, right? They think differently than other people.
Yeah.
They think of, remember Danny McBride's character in Black Hawk Down, Tom, whatever the fuck, Sizemore's character.
Yeah.
He goes, up in the air, it's unforgiving, right? Or it's whatever the fuck, or down on the ground, it's like a little different. I don't remember exactly what he said. But that's the difference. Now, McBride was a lieutenant colonel at the time, but that's the difference between the way officers and fucking gunfighters think, right? Like, officers see the war as a chessboard to move pieces around, and to some degree they have to see it that way because that's their job. But fucking what's its name? Gunfighter, like regular gunfighters, infantry people, not just infantry, anybody's on the ground, thinks of it a lot different.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They think of the individual lives that are fucking cost, and you can map that back onto the way that these veterans in Congress think about foreign wars or even the economy. They think about moving chess pieces around on the board where fucking grandma can't afford her medication and her food at the same time. She's got to pick between the two every month or something like that. They don't think like that. They don't think of the individual because they're shitbags. Not all officers are like that, obviously, but
no. But
the ones that are in Congress are definitely like that.
Exactly. So like you go into it, and with Jared directing the commercials and trying to get him in office, because you think they're going to get in there and do the right thing. Same thing with Adam Kinzinger.
I said McBride. I meant McKnight, by the way. Danny McBride was not a lieutenant colonel.
It would have been great if he was.
Yeah. He's not a ranger or anything.
No. But he was great in Tropic Thunder. He was great in Tropic
Thunder. Yeah.
But same with Adam Kinzinger, for example. Like he came in, called, and said, "Hey, running for election. Or was it re-election or the first term?
It was re-election.
Re-election, yeah. So he goes, he loved Trump. Everything was rad. He flew in. He stayed at my fucking house. Stayed at my house, for Christ's sakes. We had dinner with him, my wife, everybody else. Said all the right things. And then fucking 3-4 years later, that is a totally unrecognizable person, man. I can't fucking believe it. And if I was a dick, like a real fucking dick, I could post the goddamn text messages that I still have on this show.
Oh, you mean where he said faggot? Oops, sorry, Adam. You fucking cunt. We don't get monetized on this channel anyways. What are you going to do, man? Here's the deal. People talk about loyalty and shit. You know what I'm loyal to? The goddamn Constitution. I don't give two fucks about any of these people out here. You either play by the rules that we agreed upon or you're a cunt. The end.
Whatever you had this morning, slide a bowl over my side.
Just being an American, you know.
I'll take one bowl of American, please.
Keeps my belly full.
God, this would have been the best day possible for you of learn to suck your own dick.
I know.
Oh, I saw. I don't want to waste it because it's going to be on Monday's show. Never mind. I saw one of the best memes I've ever seen in my life. Monday's memes are fucked, dude. I mean, I've sat at home both of the last 2 nights laughing my ass off because just great ones sent in from a lot of different people. NTK Fabworks sent me one of the best ones I've seen in a long time.
Okay.
Anyways,
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
And by the way, he was not kidding either. Like what he said was 100% true.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Sorry about
We got some breaking news.
What do we got?
Special Counsel Robert Hur, H-U-R, has declined to prosecute Joe Biden for his handling of classified documents, but said Biden's practices, quote, present serious risks to national security, and added that Biden portrayed himself as, quote, an elderly man with poor memory, so he would be sympathetic to the jury. Our investigation uncovered evidence that President Biden willfully retained and disclosed classified materials after his vice presidency, which will come up in here in a second, when he was a private citizen, which should also be relevant there. But the evidence, quote, does not establish Mr. Biden's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. So he can't claim any kind of executive privilege because he was vice president, senator, vice president, and then private citizen, right? Whereas Trump can obviously classify anything he wants, however he wants. And the fact that he may not have, or there's not proof that he did, like just by edict, he can do it, right? So if they try to come after Trump for any of this classified document stuff, it will be immediately shot down. So they have no chance at that. I just want to be clear that Robert Hur said that Biden pretended to be dumber and like elderly with a poor memory on purpose. And he also said that he willfully broke the law here. They're just not going to fucking charge him with anything for some reason. Right.
Not that we're shocked by that. And by the way, this is a direct quote from him. He says that Biden was a well-meaning elderly man with poor memory. Also went on to state that, according to Mr. Hur, did not remember when he was vice president. Holy fucking shit.
Well, that was like a couple of weeks ago. So how can you expect a guy to remember all that?
Here's the next one. He said he did not remember when his son died. One would think that'd be a pretty important date in your lifetime.
I mean, I wonder if he remembers when his other son started fucking his widow.
Well,
is that on your Apple calendar there, bud?
I think so.
And
it's on the new Vision Pro.
But he's been talking about last week I talked to this dude, and it's a European leader that's been dead for 60 years. I was like, oh, fuck, dude. Is Joe Biden a medium? Is he John Edwards? Not the politician John Edwards that fucks him, that was cheating on his wife who had cancer. Not that one. Yeah. The medium.
The good one.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is Biden's own DOJ, so I'm sure it was all fair and on the up and up, you know?
I mean, this is a brutal report considering it came from your own side, to be honest.
Holy fucking shit.
And you got to think, so definitely this special counsel ran this by the White House press team first, right? To see what he could say, because they definitely do that. And this is the best they could manicure this message.
Oh my God!
So you can only imagine how bad it is. He has no idea where he is or what he's doing.
Because this is breaking news here that they're pumping it out left and right here. So it also says when he was vice president, he couldn't remember, and he left Afghanistan files next to a dog bed in his garage.
Well, the dog ate his homework.
Literally.
It's a tale as old as time, folks. And, you know.
That is actually as secure of a place as you could put those files, because that dog would maul the shit out of anyone.
What kind of dog was it?
His
Depends
dogs
on the
are
dog.
biting everyone, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
His dogs keep
yeah.
biting
Well,
everyone.
was that?
Yeah, that was before. You're talking about the White House dogs.
Yeah.
They've been dicks, but we don't know about
This was another
Okay.
house.
I'll say,
This was another house.
Every file with the White House dogs.
Yeah,
They'll
but-
fucking kill you just for walking in the room.
Yeah. 2 of them in a row now. It's just kind of weird.
Man, and then in regards to not remembering when his son Bo died, they said he wasn't even close, and he was not even within several years of the date that his son died. Biden has also released a statement now and said that he cooperated fully and that the matter was now closed. So there you have it. And I'm sure the one in Florida for Trump will probably go the same way, right?
Oh, yeah, big time, yeah. Biden pusher or leaker? What do you think, Bob?
I mean, based on the Pope stuff, I'm guessing leaker.
Leaker,
Yeah. Yeah, what was that? That was 2 years ago, right? 2.5 years ago? 2 years?
Yeah, I think he started. I mean, you know, the
You're
White.
talking about when he was crop dusting the Duchess of Cornwall, who, by the way, is going to be like Queen Regent at some point here soon, I think, after Charles dies. Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Or if he abdicates, doesn't she still stay as a regent?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Like, it's ceremonial, basically.
Or is it a dowager queen, I guess? Since, yeah, I think it would be dowager. Man, what a fucking stupid system of government they have.
This is fucking...
No wonder we fucking left and kicked the shit out of those assholes. Hey, fuck England.
Yeah, it's a dowager queen.
The real quote, by the way, is Biden was in our interview of him as a sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
Well,
That was
that's
the exact
if you look in the requirements for president of the United States, I think that's the third bullet, if I'm not mistaken. Sympathetic and elderly, who can't remember shit. Look again, we're not scientists here.
No.
We're just reporting what we fucking hear.
Goes on to later state here in these files, he did not remember when he was vice president, forgetting on the first day of the interview when his term ended. According to this report, he says, if it was 2013, when did I stop being vice president?
Oh, did he ask the fucking prosecutor?
The prosecutor, when did I stop being vice president? I give up.
That's my favorite one so far.
Who brought this bottle in today? I'm going to just drink it live on air. Who did this, man? I don't.
That Mohican that left.
Oh,
yeah.
That's right.
That almost got
deported down in Port
by random citizens.
Yeah, he almost got citizen iced, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen in Texas.
You got to be careful looking Mexican in southern Texas because only about 80% of people are Mexican down here. So
yeah, but he looked like the dirty one, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he did look like he had made the voyage.
For being here, because I was like, hey, we'll bring you up for Drinkin' Bro of the Week. He goes, oh, man, I'm going fishing down in Port A. Super Mexican, obviously catching his dinner. I go, take some fucking hard AF with you.
It's all tilapia down there.
Yeah, so he grabbed a few cases here. I'm just getting a drink out of it. Who is this, Traveler whiskey he left? It's cool, man.
Yeah. Another thing I heard today was Sunny Hostin found out that her ancestors were Spanish slave traders.
Yeah, they own slaves.
But I don't know why people were dunking on her for it. Like, all this victimhood shit is dumb for sure, and whatever, just dunk on them. But all that means is that if she grew up with a black identity or whatever she did, that just means that her family was raped by Spanish people at some point.
Sure,
that's not like a dig on you. It's like, oh, you got fucking Viking in you, man. You're tough. It's like, no, probably what it means. If it's 85% Viking, then maybe you're tough. If it's 6%, like I have, probably some of my English or Irish ancestors got raped.
Right.
That's what it really means. And if you want to dunk on me for that, then go for it. Sunny Hostin deserves to get dunked on 24 hours a day.
Yeah. Right. Oh, 100%.
She's a huge piece of shit. I just don't understand why all the conservative.
You would actually not be correct in that assertion because her mother's Spanish.
Oh boy, she's a fucking piece of shit then.
Yeah, she's a slave owner.
Yeah.
They own slaves, so they found that out. So here's why everybody's dunking on her, by the way.
Yeah.
On The View, that's all she talks about endlessly is white supremacy and slavery and all this other shit.
That's all I talk about, but in a positive way. You know?
Right. And I think her exact quote was, well, That's disappointing to hear at the end, when they told her that, and I was like, I bet it is. So
I don't know.
She can go back to that job and live with that.
Maybe just like apply that same logic you just applied to your. This is what I would have told her if I had been doing that interview after the slew of profanity that it began.
Yeah.
The interview, I would have said, look, you're not responsible for your ancestors, and neither am I, you stupid bitch. So get over it. You're rich. What the fuck are you talking about? God, like exactly how fucking successful do you need to be before you can shut the fuck up, LeBron James?
It's crazy.
Here, have you seen my LeBron James impression?
There you go. One page.
It's just that.
That's it.
And I sometimes will do it in blackface as well.
Well,
for authenticity.
If you catch him on the right day. Speaking of being rich, Craigers, dude. Craig Dulesky just dropped 300 in the chat here. And
We'll
he
use
says
that
for
for drugs.
D'Anthony, that's what I'm saying. So is this for cocaine for the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
All right.
Probably.
All right.
No, I'm probably just gonna eat wings.
I'll stop by your house before I have to go to the kid party, okay?
What
time are you eating wings over there?
What time's the game?
5:30. We're on Central, right? Yeah. It'll be at 5:30.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Probably then.
I'll pop over around noon if Craigers is giving you money for drugs.
Oh, I'm not gonna start doing cocaine at noon on a Sunday, but
really?
No.
Come on.
Got shit to
Guy
do.
like you, what do you got to do on a Sunday?
I'm doing a lot of writing lately, and cocaine interrupts that process.
Yeah, I'm not good on drugs either. I can't do it in the day. I'm the same. I can't write on drugs. I can't do it. Now, syrup, sure, all day long. Speaking of gambling, though, and getting rich here, MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros will double that first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Let's all get rich this weekend. I cock teased this at the beginning of the show here.
Don't forget to tune in tomorrow.
Yes.
At noon Central Standard Time. We'll go over every goddamn prop bet that exists.
With Uncle Laser and then our favorite piece of shit, Gary Faust.
Gary Faust will just mostly, I think, be comedic.
I don't think so. I think Gary's going to have some very valuable insight on Reba McEntire and Taylor Swift.
Maybe.
Here it is, kids. Look, everybody and their mother's betting on this record amount of money that is being gambled on the Super Bowl this Sunday right now. 49ers are favorite. It's -2. I heard Dave Portnoy earlier drop $500,000. I don't have that I don't have the Portnoy money yet. Keep buying the fucking seltzer. Keep buying Hard AF seltzer. I'm trying to get there. And yes, I would bet $500,000 on this game for sure. But he was all in on Chiefs money line. I am all in on Chiefs money line as well. We've been doing the sports show here on this network for about 6 years, and I've 6 for 6. This would be my 7th Super Bowl in a row that I have won. I just can't picture a world where all the shit that's going on with Taylor Swift and the Chiefs and everything else, that they're going to be able to pull this off. I watch all the press conferences. I do all the things and trying to gain whatever fucking edge that I possibly can in all these bets. The biggest takeaway from the pressers was Brock Purdy looked nervous. He did not want the spotlight. He didn't want to talk about shit. And you're always going to be encountered with some weird questions there. He was unprepared and completely checked out and looked afraid of the atmosphere and everything that was going on. I've never been a big fan of him anyways. If you're going to tell me that he's going to beat Patrick fucking Mahomes in the goddamn Super Bowl, there's just no way. I just can't see it happen. However, Vegas still has them favored. It's -2 for San Francisco. I don't know what I'm fucking missing here, but I said the same thing last year when I picked the Chiefs over the Eagles, and I was correct on that. So I'm all in on the Chiefs. Now, my bookie is going to have over 1,000 prop bets for this game. There's a lot of women. I was on the phone with them yesterday morning. There is a lot of women in particular who were betting on this game and Taylor Swift and the prop bets and the over-under on Reba McEntire and all that shit. This is an entirely new demographic that has been brought into the NFL, and they're also expecting a record for ratings for a Super Bowl in history. Roger Goodell said he thinks 200 million people will watch this on Sunday, which would blow away every fucking record for every show in the history of television.
200 million?
Yeah.
That's not.
I don't know, man. I mean, look, with the women involved, you might have it this year, for real. Like, we'll see what happens.
What's the highest Super Bowl ever?
120, I believe. I think 117-ish, 118 is the record here. But I think with everything that's going on, And then the programming is shifted away. There's nothing competing against the Super Bowl either all day long. So
I'll be competing against it.
I know you will, because you'll line up against the television and go over your own plays and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm all in, dude, over at MyBookie. Waiting for them to let me max bet. I think it's going to be tomorrow morning, but I bet $5K on it every year, and I'm all in on the Chiefs' money line this year. And I can't wait to watch the game, so I'm amped. If this is your first time, which it seems like it's a lot of people's first time gambling, head on over to mybookie.com, use that promo code Drinkin Bros to double that first deposit, and then tune in to YouTube on Drinkin Bros Sports. On our other channel on YouTube, we will be live tomorrow for the Super Bowl Pick'em show, so you can join us there. Next up, we got the New York City bribery scheme. More than 6 employees with the New York City Housing Authority were charged with accepting cash payments in exchange for giving out contracts, federal officials said, calling it the largest single-day bribery takedown in the Justice Department's history. 70 current and former employees are alleged to have received cash from contractors in exchange for Housing Authority no-bid contracts, the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York announced in a news conference release yesterday. The defendants are accused of demanding over $2 million in bribe money and awarding over $13 million worth of no-bid contracts. Most of these defendants, 66 of them, were arrested Tuesday in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and North Carolina, of all places, on charges that include solicitation and receipt of a bribe, extortion, and conspiracy. One defendant was also charged with destruction of evidence and making false statements, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. This reminds me of the old school mafia days here, where we're getting into some construction.
I mean, The Sopranos, there's a whole episode about this where they fucking they use an NGO, or they buy Tony buys houses through a cutout in a shitty neighborhood, and then an NGO buys them from him essentially for HUD, so they can make low cost housing for people, and then they just default on the loan and keep all the money, right? This is more of like a numbers game, extortion, but yeah, not surprising. I mean, New York is a shithole now.
Yeah.
So there you go, right? I mean, this is how people behave. I wonder if any of these people will get the same kind of treatment that ordinary criminals get, which is to say no treatment. Or at least a pat on the back as they go home on their own recognizance. Now, this is a federal charge, so maybe the DOJ tries to make an example here.
Okay.
I don't know, but yeah, the Housing Authority CEO, Lisa, some dumbass hyphenated last name, we're not doing that, said in a statement that the agency has, quote, zero tolerance for wrongful and illegal activity. I'm sorry, if 70 of your employees are involved in something, I don't know how big the New York Housing Authority is, but it can't be so big that 70 is a blip, right? Maybe there's 1,000 people or something working there. I guess, I don't know, but it's 70.
Looks like around 13,000 people.
13,000. Okay. 70 people, right?
That's
who
a
else?
lot.
Who else has 13,000 employees? What other companies are that size? It doesn't matter. 70 of your people get caught doing something.
Yeah.
I mean, that is like that's a pretty widespread conspiracy. Again, it's the largest single takedown in history.
But if you're living in New York City right now and you're giving out $53 million to gift cards for illegals and shit, it's rough.
Don't worry about that.
It's rough, dude. You gotta find a way to take your own piece too. You know what I'm saying? So do I blame these people? No. Do you want to live in the city at $3,500 in a 1-bedroom? No.
I'm gonna look up some place. Bob, go to look up some apartments in because I'm looking here the Greenpoint building in Brooklyn. It's $3,094 a month for a studio.
Oh God. That's nice.
What borough do you want?
Let's look at Brooklyn, because that's a pretty good measure of how.
You know,
the
the weird thing is like, dude, when I was living in New York City, you went to Brooklyn because it was cheaper.
Yeah,
and now it's.
But it's still to this day.
Fuck yeah.
Aside from right around where the basketball arena is, it's still a pretty good measure of how the rest of the city is price wise.
Yeah. There's a lot for rent.
Okay,
there.
so let's go to Williamsburg. That's kind of the
Yeah, it's the hipster place right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm seeing. It's a lot of 5s and 6s here.
1 bedroom on Berry Street in Brooklyn, $4,200.
Yeah, 1 bed, 1 bath. They're not even listing the square footage, 5,100.
Oh, God damn it, dude. How? In all honesty,
this
man,
one is.
How is New York City not going to collapse financially?
Damn. So Berry Street in Brooklyn, which is in William, it's like a main building in Brooklyn here. In Williamsburg. 1 bedroom, 1 bath, somewhere between 647 and 746 square feet. And it's $4,200 to $6,200 a month.
Right,
Holy fucking shit.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're going to give $53 million to illegal immigrants and shit?
Let's see the inside of that place, Bob.
This is, let's see here, 20,
Lovely.
almost 2,900.
And it's got a
square feet.
fucking radiator.
Look at that old school radiator,
That
dude.
all, you know,
Holy
that
shit.
makes me want to kidnap somebody and chain them to it,
Yep.
to be honest.
There we go.
Black
Look
Snake
at that.
Moan.
Look at
those
this
cabinets.
fucking shit, dude.
Wow. How much is that place, Bob?
Basically 3,000.
Look at the
bedroom.
tub. Look at the tub. Can you zoom in on that tub? How disgusting that is. Why would you even post that on Zillow?
This is New
Why
York,
would that
baby.
even be a thought?
Because that's better than most, I guess.
Yeah.
To post a tub from a
It's like,
fucking
look,
horror film?
it's like, look, there's no dead body anymore.
God damn.
We got rid of the dead bodies. What the fuck else do you want from us?
This
My
is
God.
probably the least expensive apartment I found. Here's the kitchen.
Yeah,
So
you're
that's the
gonna split it
least
with a roommate.
expensive. Oh, God.
2 beds, 1 bath.
Yeah, there's room for 2 people in there.
Honestly, the square footage isn't bad for an apartment. 750.
That's how you live in New York. You have multiple roommates.
Oof. Yeah, but with multiple roommates and 750, Bob?
750 is fucking brutal.
It's not bad. Here, let me put it this way. It's not bad if you're living with your girlfriend.
Yeah, if you're single, fine. And like, yeah, if you're a girlfriend and you're not married or whatever and you're trying to figure it the fuck out, but Jesus Christ, man. What a shithole. Mm-hmm. That bathtub. I mean, how many murders and rapes were committed in that bathtub?
And this is why, like,
nice.
of all the reasons, there's a lot of reasons New York is more expensive than everywhere else, but a big part of it is shit like this, where you have corrupt government officials who are giving out no-bid contracts to people, taking money on the sly, and then these assholes raise the rent. And, you know, because their job, the New York Housing Authority's job is to stop predatory bullshit.
Yeah.
That's most of their job.
Yeah.
Instead, they just facilitate it, and now your rent is 2 to 3 times higher than anywhere else in the country, despite the fact that you can get mugged and nothing will happen to the person,
Also,
even if you're a fucking cop.
yeah.
illegal immigrants can vote, I believe, in local elections.
Great. Why give them everything? Let them fucking vote in the federal elections.
We
too.
always talk about
Do whatever you want anymore.
We always talk about chiseling California off, letting it float into the ocean. I think it might be time to consider that for New York as well.
It might
Get
be
them out of here.
close.
Either that, or you guys up in Buffalo and Syracuse need to start marching south. All right,
don't know.
maybe get you some tri-corner hats and start marching south.
I don't really want to lose the ports.
I don't give a fuck about those ports.
I don't either.
They're
This
kind of
is actually-
important.
No. They're not nearly as active. Like the Baltimore Harbor is still like down there. It's
Dude,
just south
Pete
of there.
Davidson just bought a goddamn ship. He bought a ship out of the port. They're selling the goddamn ships.
He bought a fucking Staten Island ferry.
Yeah.
So what,
Did he really?
dude?
What a
Yeah.
fucking retard. Why?
That's awesome.
Just to do it?
I hate Pete Davidson,
I mean,
but
that's
I
pretty
love the
funny,
fact
dude.
that he bought a fucking ferry out of there.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I like that.
And they're going to turn it into a bar.
Oh, that's actually not a bad
It's
idea.
not bad. It's him and
Him
Colin
and Joe
Jost.
spot it, yeah.
Yeah, I hate both of them, but I love that. I think it's great. This $3,800 one there is nice, but it's still $3,800 fucking dollars.
3,800.
3,800 is manageable.
Especially if you're, so it's one.
Well, not
bed-
for a one
Good
bedroom,
luck.
but it's
you gotta move
1,000
in-
square feet.
You got to
right?
move in with your wife or girlfriend, basically. To make it.
Yeah, dude. Jesus Christ.
But I think if you're that close, if you're packed in that tight, you're not going to be a wife or a girlfriend very much longer.
No, because eventually she's gonna get up in the middle of the night, dude, and look in that tub, and then look at you on the way back and be like, I need to get the fuck out of here. I need to start chugging dick on Instagram and trying to go to the Middle East and end up in Dubai on a beach somewhere. You know, fuck, that's brutal, dude. You know what isn't brutal though is firstform.com/drinking bros. Here it is. It sits right next to me on the desk. I already took the package earlier. It's gone. I took my vitamins. They're right here. Nice little clean package of vitamins for you. You don't have to buy 80 jars off of Amazon, try to figure it out. Scrape them off the counter like a hobo into one of those little S through S things. And they're like, all right, cool, and take the vitamins. I never remember to take the goddamn vitamins until these guys came out with a little microfactor pack. That's all it is, dude. It's got the essentials in here. It's got the probiotics, the CoQ10s, multivitamins, fruits and veggies, EFAs, and the antioxidants. You're good to go for the day. Makes your pee bright yellow in about 45 minutes, so you know that it's working over there. Gigantic fan of these guys. First Form is one of the best in the biz. Best energy drinks. I just got back from the gym before I came on this show. I tried to get one. They're always sold out. Every day they're sold out of the fucking energy drinks over there. They're awesome, man. Right now you're getting free shipping on orders over $75 over at firstform.com/Drinkin Bros. Highly recommend the microfactors. Love the energy drinks. Love their protein sticks, all of it, dude. Big fan of these guys. Best in the biz. Andy Frisella and those guys couldn't have been knocked it out of the park anymore than this company. Lucky they're on the show. Support them, please. Go to firstform.com/Drinkin Bros today. Free shipping off of orders over $75. You're going to take this shit anyways. You might as well have it just in a bag, ready to go. Boom. Pop that in your gullet. Move on with your fucking life, okay? We're not eating the way we need to. We're working out the way we should every day. I did today. But then I drank whiskey immediately, and I was like, well, thank God I have the vitamins in me. Otherwise, I'd be just a fucking weird drunkard. But instead, First Form got me through it. Next up, Libs of TikTok and how the state turns speech into violence. Let's break down an example of how legacy media tries to attack anyone who bucks their bullshit narrative. Last March, police in Coralville, Iowa, shout out Craigers there on that one, Iowa. Sometimes it is. Investigated a bomb threat targeting a junior high student. Authorities brought in specially trained dogs to sniff for explosives and started looking into why someone might try to target the community's teachers and students. Law enforcement quickly determined that the threat was a hoax. Detective Hannah Dvorak from Coralville Police Department arrived at a theory. It appears all of this stems from a post made earlier this week by Shia Rychik and her Libs of TikTok account. Dvorak wrote in a report to her superiors, Rychik, 29, is not accused of making any bomb threats in Iowa or anywhere else, but about a day and a half before authorities responded to the threat at Coralville's Northwest Junior High, Rychik posted that the school offers pornographic book in its library that teaches kids about gay sex. These are the books they're giving your kids to read in school, she wrote on Twitter. People have frequently targeted the book in question. This book is gay. It's the name of the book, people. Okay?
And it has, we've talked about this particular book before on the show. It has like diagrams of how to fucking perform oral and anal sex.
Yeah, it's a coming out guide for the LGBT plus number letter thing community.
Yeah. And this isn't the first time. I mean, so they try to make this connection between Rychik and violence, right? She's for the first 2 or 3 years that this woman existed, all she did was literally screen capture TikToks of elementary school teachers, middle school teachers, sometimes high school, mostly the first two, and then these fucking drag queen story hour things and repost them.
Yeah.
And they say it's not real, but here's evidence that it is. And that's it. They had no context for the most part for the first part of her tenure doing this. And then, NBC News does this fucking complete hit piece where here are all these other examples where people attempted violence or bomb threats or blah, blah, blah directly after Rychik posted blah, blah, blah or whatever the fuck. It's like, man, I guess the message is you shouldn't call out when people are grooming and raping children because somebody might get mad and do something about it.
Yeah. Or be offended.
That's the message that NBC wants you to fucking hear. And it's completely bonkers. By the way, Bob, if you click on that Facebook link that's right there, you can see this Detective Hannah Dvorak, or how do you say her stupid fucking name? And you can make any assumptions you want about this, right?
Uh-huh. So I have not seen her.
This is a detective.
Sure.
Are you fucking kidding me? She is a fat piece of shit. Stop eating, you fat bitch. Like, you can't even control your own fucking diet. Sorry, you think you're like some internet sleuth. Oh, I found out that people do stuff. She posts like fucking 80 things a day.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? This is how it works, right? This is how you manufacture consent. You try to, the media specifically, and the government will have some part in this as well, but the media specifically on behalf of the government will shape these timelines and be like, well, this happened and then this violent thing happened. So clearly this voice, this First Amendment exercise right here is violence. Words are literal violence now, and it just keeps going downhill like that. It's fucking crazy. You know what's like, obviously nobody's arguing in favor of bomb threats, whether they're real or hoaxes. That's fucking stupid, and that's not, in a civilized society, not the way you deal with this shit anyways. She's certainly never called for violence against anybody, and as a matter of fact, it's been more in the opposite direction. She's been targeted quite a bit over the past couple years. But to say that because someone in the public sphere somewhere may get angry about this and do something stupid, she shouldn't report that people are fucking grooming and raping children? Sorry, man, I can't buy that.
Me neither. Look, they've been trying to take down this woman and this account for years now at this point because it's so popular. But exactly like you just said towards the top of this, like, all she really does is just repost shit from shit she's seeing in public and other people's accounts and all that other stuff. It's not like she's creating videos like the other one that was scored by, it was a beautiful score, by the way. I really enjoyed it with Zelensky. She doesn't do that. It's just normal videos and man on the street type shit that people are sending in and everything else. So I don't get it.
I think this woman's just hungry.
This
I think if you like sprinkle some Fritos on the ground in front of her or something, or just hand her a piece of Wonder Bread, maybe break it into chunks and throw it down, like for fish or whatever.
Yeah.
She'll just like
tubbers.
She'll peck at it, eat it a little bit, and then she'll go back to doing what she was doing before, which is not solving crimes.
Yeah. Yeah, little tubbers there, dude, just eating food off the ground.
Fat retard. Fuck you, lady.
It's under 5 seconds. It's still good.
That part I agree with. 5-second rule. As a matter of fact, I've got like a 3-hour rule. As long as I haven't seen something weird happen to it in my own presence, even if I suspect it has, still going in my mouth.
So that's the problem, is she doesn't do that. It's from strangers. It's not her own food, okay?
Well, I ate food off the ground in Baghdad, so I don't know if I'm qualified to speak on this.
Nah, I think you're fine, right? You seem to be doing well these days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, doing great.
Oh, it's the day of Dan.
I mean, all she's missing is fucking blue hair.
That's
for real. You know she's like fucking queer or something. Like, oh, I identify as a fucking tree limb, man.
Yeah.
I'm just hanging out here. Shut the fuck up, you fat bitch.
I expected a bone through the nose, like one of these septum piercings. Or just kind of like, yeah.
I'm bringing it back. I'm going to get those big copper fucking plates in my ears, stretch them out.
Fuck,
and then
it's been
the
a while.
the neck rings and shit. I'll be 7 feet tall, bitch.
Whenever I see people who made that mistake, years ago, walking around the streets with just 2 fucking gigantic holes in their ears, dude, and they're all droopy down to their shoulders. I was like, man.
I bet you wish you had a mulligan on that fuckface.
It always makes me laugh, because that's going to be somebody's mom or dad out there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Eventually, one day. Yeah. Nothing you can do about it. Guys, if you're over 30, you're going to want to hear this every year. After puberty, HGH, human growth hormone, the hormone responsible for workout recovery, performance, metabolism, even sex drive starts to decline, sometimes by 50% by age 35. Doesn't matter who you are, how hard you train, how good you eat, it's happening to all of us. That's where BioPro Plus comes in. BioPro Plus is the first of its kind, non-synthetic, alternative prescription HGH growth hormone treatments. All the benefits of synthetic HGH without any of the needles, side effects, or doctor visits. Best part about BioPro Plus is it works super fast and easy to use and is 100% safe. It's been trusted by physicians since 2009, and its benefits can be felt in just days instead of months. Guys who use BioPro Plus have experienced faster workout recovery, enhanced performance, metabolism, and even sexual function. And plus, they've had better mood and energy, okay? So if you want to fix the way you perform, look, and feel without all the risk of big pharma and that synthetic bullshit, head on over to bioproteintech.com or learn more about it by clicking the link in the audio description of this show. But while you're over there at BioProteinTech.com, make sure to use that promo code DrinkinBros for $30 off your first order. We've been taking this now for about 4 or 5 months. Comes in a little vial. You pop it underneath your tongue before you go night-night, and you're out, dude. It's great. Big fan. And then, boom, you pop up the next day, and you're ready to go. Makes your skin nice, too. It was nice to be able to try this out and continue it throughout. I'll let you know. Check back in 3 months, dude. I might be lifting up my goddamn car in the parking lot. Who knows? Head on over to BioProteinTech.com today. Drinkin' Bros is the promo code that gets you $30 off your first order.
I think you should go out in the parking lot and just rip owls in half.
God, I'd love to. The one that I always think about is the guy who ripped that fucking turtle in half.
Turtle?
Yep.
Did anybody get that on video or anything?
Where you rip? To my knowledge.
I wish.
I think we're gonna have to recreate that.
I know.
But we're gonna have to go into international waters, obviously, because it's not legal.
With a sea turtle.
Yeah.
I imagine he's available. He's not kicking in the NFL anymore.
Who, the turtle?
No, Guayo.
Aguayo, yeah. The turtle's still playing in the USFL.
I don't need him
here.
to do it. I want us to do it.
Yeah. Look at that.
But I want to use that machine that measures the foot-pound pressure, the PSI, or
Sure.
whatever the fuck it is. I don't know, FPS.
I think this is the exact face he made after he did it.
Oh, fuck yeah, he did. He didn't give a shit. He did not give one baker's fuck.
What's this guy's...
That guy's dad was in a cartel. He's seen worse shit than turtles getting
he
ripped
kind
in
of
half.
looks like his dad may have been in a fucking Comanche tribe or some shit. What's this
Never
guy's ethnicity?
Cherokee, marching on the trail of tears, Cherokee. Maybe he's one of those.
Is that it?
I mean, he's Latino.
Latinx?
He's Latinx?
What's his last name?
Aguayo.
So probably there's some native in there.
Yeah.
I could see it.
A little bit of native.
Well, I mean, most Latinos.
Yeah, for sure. I thought they were supposed to
native.
respect nature, though. What happened?
I thought, well, maybe he wanted to smoke out of that turtle shell. You know, a little peace pipe, make a peace pipe.
He got kicked out of a party.
Makes sense.
worth
Yeah,
it.
I would never tolerate that.
Yeah, in college? Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
You kick me out of a party, I'm coming after your mascot for sure.
Yeah, I'm ripping your fucking turtle in half.
Yeah, or an owl, depending on what it is.
Did the turtle live? Do we know that? Were they able to glue back on the shell?
Absolutely not.
Turtle.
No, I think they did that in The Office one season.
Wasn't sure how that works. You know, when you rip that off, if you can just kind of glue it back on, or if it's just the little skin body that's walking around on all fours after that. Didn't know the answer. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Next up, Ted Cruz wants old cocaine Mitch McConnell gone. Senator Ted Cruz out of Tejas down here pointed out what he called the mismanagements of a border security and Ukraine funding package. Said Tuesday that it's time for cocaine Mitch to step down as the Senate GOP leader. Fucking finally, dude.
Yeah, I mean, how many
God damn
times can he glitch out before people are like, oh, maybe we should
Yeah, dude.
not do this?
Fuck. Cruz was one of 10 Republican senators who voted against McConnell's reelection as Senate's minority leader after the 2022 election, and he is a longtime critic of McConnell's leadership. While Cruz's desire to replace McConnell as leader isn't new, he's stepped up his criticism of the veteran Kentucky lawmaker in anticipation that the border security deal negotiated by Senator James Lankford out of Oklahoma, whom McConnell tapped for the task, would fall flat with GOP senators. Asked at a press conference whether it's time for McConnell to go, Cruz replied, yeah, I think it is. Everyone here has also supported the leadership challenge to Mitch McConnell. In November of 2022, he said at a press conference with Senator Rick Scott, Mike Lee, Ron Johnson, J.D. Vance, and Roger Marshall, and Eric Schmidt. I think a Republican leader should actually lead this conference and should advance the priorities of Republicans. Asked about Cruz's comments Tuesday afternoon, McConnell quipped that he wasn't shocked to hear that his Texas colleague is criticizing him again. He says, I think we can all agree that Senator Cruz is not a fan. No shit.
Yeah. So
No
Cruz,
fucking shit.
Cruz said earlier this week that after the 2022 election, to elect a new leader after Republicans lost the Senate race in Pennsylvania and saw their minority shrink to 49, that he urged Senate Republicans after that, which is a good point, right? I think getting rid of McCarthy was good. I don't think Mike Johnson was a good choice.
No.
And it's been made pretty obvious that he's a piece of shit and just doesn't know what the fuck he's doing and has no sway at all. Like, I have no idea how this fucking geek-looking bitch ended up as the speaker, to be honest. Embarrassing for the Republicans. It really is. And I don't know who would take over for McConnell in the Senate necessarily, but there's quite a few better options than him. That's a fact.
Well, McConnell's 800 years old. He's got to die soon, right?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they lost to a dude that just had a stroke in Pennsylvania, that should have been an immediate, like, if you lose that bad, that's like, I don't understand how Mike McCarthy still has a job either.
Me neither.
To be honest. Like, both of those people should have been fired immediately.
I mean, for what it's worth with McConnell in terms of them not retaining the Senate or whatever, he probably wasn't the one that chose to run Ross's favorite guy, Herschel Walker, in a super winnable race.
How is Herschel doing?
Not in the Senate. He's still not in the Senate.
Not in the Senate, huh?
Yeah, but he, as the Senate majority leader, he could have shut that down.
I don't know that he could. I mean, he could have.
If he couldn't shut it down, it doesn't belong in the position.
I agree with that. But Herschel was Trump's guy. I mean, Trump handpicked Herschel Walker to run in that race.
Well, he didn't handpick him. He was winning, and there was nothing he could do about it.
No, he was winning because Trump backed him.
Not because it's not.
He was winning because
from
of
the state of Georgia, dude. I can
Yeah.
tell you, he won because he won the 1980 national championship.
No, he was winning because of his stance on werewolves and vampires.
Sure.
And everybody fucking knows it.
He was a Heisman winner. He was the last national champion before this new crop came up. Like, he's beloved in that state.
But the fact that it took, 2.5 years to fire this, or for this RNC bitch to leave, Romney's niece or whatever the fuck she is, like, what the fuck, man? Why? Why did you've lost so many elections in a row, winnable elections, right? Now, as far as the presidential election in 2020, I don't think that was legit at all. But the Herschel Walker choice was fucking retarded.
Yeah, and then look, I know Herschel wanted to do it on his own. I've heard some rumors behind the scenes for some friends in Georgia of why. Rhymes with money. And they couldn't stop him. And it gets to a point where somebody's winning or losing so much, you're either going to have to back it or you're going to have to get the fuck out of there. Republicans obviously needed, 2 to get the majority? So Herschel was in, and they were going to support him no matter what. Was he great? Fuck no, he wasn't great.
Yeah, but it just shows you how fucking weak Republican leadership is. The woman who was Secretary of State in Arizona was running for governor, right? Won, allegedly, and then started making fucking phone calls and sending emails threatening public employees to certify her election or she would send them to jail, right? Like, never recused herself, and then there was a lot of fishy bullshit going on around that Senate seat in Arizona as well. So there's a lot of weird shit going on. But this is, like, stop being a fucking loser. Stop making excuses for shit. If you can't win elections, if you can't get the right people to run, get the fuck out.
Right. And I think for the Republicans in particular, it's been a lot of these fucking soft-serve candidates where it's just this fucking weak bullshit, and you see it time and time again where the people, some of them we've even had on our show who haven't won, who I believed in, where I was just like, oh, this guy might do well, could potentially help the country or whatever. They don't ever make it for some reason, man. Instead, it's these fucking idiots like Brian Kemp, our governor in Georgia. That guy fucking sucks. But somehow they're getting in. Who knows? If I tried to figure out all this shit, dude, I'd probably lose my mind or blow my brains out in that bathtub in that one bedroom there in, was it Brooklyn? I think I'd do it in that bathtub, but instead, who fucking knows, dude? Who's going to run and why, and then how to control it? And, like, again, how is McConnell still alive or in there at this point? It's fucking nuts to me. I'm not even a fan of Ted Cruz either. You know, you have 2 people in there that are going against each other that I don't really give a shit about. But everybody keeps voting for him, too. So, look, who fucking knows, man? It would be great if there was a crop of, like, young people that came up who had a strong stance and stood by it and everything else. It's just not happening. It's the fucking dawn of the dead with all these fucks. How old is Mitch McConnell, by the way, in real life?
81.
God damn it, dude. God damn it. The other 81-year-old that, we talked about earlier couldn't remember that he was even vice president. When did that end?
Well,
when did my son die?
You know what's really interesting is the Her report. He's ruled essentially to be too senile to stand trial, but perfectly capable of running the country.
Yeah. I mean.
All right. Sweet, bud. Let's fucking do this, man.
You think he's going to win again? That's all I keep thinking, dude. As this shit keeps going on week by week, and I know we're in an election year, I think no matter what, I think he's going to win.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, that her report might be a test balloon to see if there's enough public will, good sentiment towards any other candidate to get him the fuck out of there. But I just think the biggest problem is Kamala Harris and jumping her. I think it would be a problem for there was a report yesterday about the demographics of the Democratic Party now. They've lost 20%. They've gone down 20% in their hold on the black voter, about 18% on the Latino voter as well. They're making it up with white suburban women, right? Mm-hmm. If you skip a woman, I think that's going to, at least they think that's going to be a problem for them, especially if they did it right now and then Trump decides to pick Kristi Noem, who is apparently on his short list for some fucking reason.
I've heard
maybe
that
just
as
so
well.
Lewandowski can fucking plow her. I don't know. Like, I really don't know why, but he's definitely on her short list, or even Sarah Sanders, which is a better choice. And there's another female VP that's teed up to become president at some point, and they've skipped over the woman on their side, even though she's completely incompetent. I think that creates a big voter problem for them.
Well, it's tough to say because I go back to Hillary. She was so unlikable that she didn't win over women. I think Kamala is so unlikable. I don't think women like her either. I think with her, I don't know that it would necessarily mean anything to skip her, and especially if you were going to try to shove Michelle in there, Obama. But who fucking knows, man? But I read this shit and you're like, there's no way this is real. Exactly what you said. You're too old to stand trial or fucking, be blamed for taking any of these documents, but you're just the right age to run the country. How the fuck is that possible? And not knowing when your son died, dude, or when you were vice president of the United States, that's a pretty big job.
Yeah, I guess.
It's 4 years.
I mean, he didn't do anything.
It's a 4-year job, but you know when it starts and when it ends.
He was there for 8 years.
I know he was.
Well, he doesn't.
But I know he doesn't. But in the last term of it, he goes, when did I finish? Was it 2013? Was that when I finished, man? No, you fuck. If you're as miserable as we are, though, pop in some Black Buffalo into that lip. Beaver dip it if you want to. Black Buffalo is one of my faves here on the show. If you're 21 and older and use nicotine or tobacco, check out the award-winning tobacco alternative Black Buffalo. It's everything you love about dip, nothing you don't, no compromise. Never have, never will out of Black Buffalo. Long cut in pouches made from edible green leaves, food-grade ingredients, both with and without pharmaceutical-grade nicotine. Black Buffalo comes in classic flavors like wintergreen, mint, straight, peach, and even blood orange. Their pouches have won multiple awards from industry publications. They're Black Buffalo's best-performing products. All products are proudly made in the good old U.S. of A. Toby Keith's U.S. of A. God damn it. TK's U.S. of A. R.I.P.
Yeah, remember how he fought for the country?
Yeah, he fought and died for it. Dan, he just died.
He was a government shill to promote the Iraq war we shouldn't have been in. Thanks, Tobes.
And he died for it.
Enjoy hell, asshole.
He served and died for it.
No, fuck him.
Now, Black Buffalo's pouches have won multiple awards, and they're still fucking kicking ass out there. All products from Black Buffalo can be shipped to your house at blackbuffalo.com. You can use the promo code DRINKINBROS for 20% off your first order. Every time a fucking log comes into the office, it's gone. But Black Buffalo also sells their products in thousands of retailers across the United States. Check their store locator to find the location nearest you on blackbuffalo.com. They're down here at the Valero over there, right by our office. Honor your rituals with Black Buffalo. Warning, this product does contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Black Buffalo products are intended for adults aged 21 and older who are consumers of nicotine and tobacco. Right? Next up, Dems are at it again. 2 Democratic congressmen are backing a proposal to prohibit private paramilitary activity, a bill intended, according to them, to prevent another J6. What the fuck is this? I don't know this story.
So it's a bill to be honest, unfortunately I won't be here next Friday, but Mike Glover is the guy to ask about this. He's done.
Is Mike coming in next Friday?
Next Friday.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah,
Just me and Mike together?
I mean, you can twist your dicks together if you want.
Fuck yeah.
So this is the Preventing Private Paramilitary Activity Act of 2024.
Okay.
And it would create criminal penalties for people who engage in certain conduct, including intimidating elected officials, interfering with government proceedings, and pretending to be law enforcement. Now, to be clear, all of these things are already illegal.
Yeah.
There's just not a new law for it, right? Which is what we do. It's like, remember that thing that's been illegal forever? We're going to make a new one.
We'll do it.
Same goddamn language.
Stamp it.
3 years ago, this is a quote from from Ed Markey, who's known mostly for shitting his pants because he's old.
Oh, yeah.
3 years ago, a white supremacist affiliated with paramilitary organizations stormed the Capitol. What white supremacist organizations? You're talking about the Proud Boys who were run by Mexicans?
Yeah.
The fuck? A Mexican who was an FBI informant?
Enrique? Tariq Enrique?
Yeah.
What the fuck his name was?
Enrique Tarrio.
That's it.
Like, really? That's the white supremacist one, eh?
Yeah.
Sweet, bud. Yeah. All right. And shattering windows, walls, and the families of 5 U.S. Capitol police officers. No one died as a result of J6 except for Ashley Babbitt and the woman who was trampled to death and then maybe beaten to death by that black Capitol police officer. Mm-hmm. None of the Capitol police officers they say died because of this. Natural causes, suicide, shit like that, but whatever. Anyways, this is ludicrous, delusional fantasy nonsense. None of the shit that he says ever happened. Jamie Raskin's the other fucking gaylord that's a co-sponsor on this. And he said groups use, quote, political violence to intimidate people and threaten democracy, which is not a fucking thing here. We're a republic, not a democracy. Our legislation makes the obvious but essential clarification that these domestic extremist paramilitary organizations are in no way protected by our Constitution. As a matter of fact, they fucking are.
Yep.
Up until the point they commit a crime. And here's the real problem. So here's what the bill would prevent. Publicly patrolling, drilling, or engaging in harmful or deadly paramilitary techniques. There is nothing illegal about suiting up and fucking walking around and patrol. Like community watches are illegal now.
Yeah, dude.
Apparently, right? Interfering with or interrupting government proceedings. So protest is now illegal under this bill. Now, it's never going to pass. But that would make protesting at a public event illegal.
No BLM, dude.
Well, I think there would be exceptions, right? Just like there were for COVID. Interfering with the exercise of someone else's constitutional rights, that is already a federal law.
Yep.
What the fuck are you talking about? Falsely assuming the functions of law enforcement and asserting authority over others. Citizen's arrest is codified into law. If I see you in any state in the country, if I see you committing a felony, or a misdemeanor rather, with my own eyes, I could detain you, right? Now, you better know the law and make sure that it's an actual misdemeanor and you have proof, because you can get arrested for false imprisonment.
Yeah.
But if I see you, like, grab somebody's purse and start to run with it, even though it's under 1,000 and not a felony, it's a misdemeanor, right? That's why I said that. I could fucking stop you and detain you and hold you there until cops come and arrest you. That's a fucking codified law everywhere in the country. And if I even hear about you committing a felony, I can detain you.
Yeah.
Right? All right. And then training to engage in any of these behaviors.
I do it all the time.
This is...
Do you know how many times I dressed up as a police officer?
Yeah.
In my house, dude, and fucking...
This is the most direct assault on the Second Amendment I think I've ever seen, because it attacks at the heart of the premise of the Second Amendment, which is the citizen's right to defend against an authoritarian government, right? And that right is codified by the militia standard, the well-organized militia, or well-trained militia, right? These cunts want to limit your ability to train and form militias by a simple majority vote, but this is a constitutional matter. It requires a supermajority in both houses for something like this to happen. So I think these guys, we really need to, whenever the wars are over here, we need to start adding in severe punishments for politicians that even suggest shit like this, that bring a bill to the floor that would limit people's constitutional rights. I think you should be in prison for 10 years, maybe, right? And then you just have to, you're poor. You'd have to live on the streets for the rest of your life. You get nothing again.
A serious question here. How many of these congressmen do you think actually know the Constitution?
I mean, they know how to manipulate it.
But do you think they actually know it?
They know the Constitution like people know religious texts who try to pervert the meaning of it. Right? That's it. They know enough to fucking say, like, oh, God hates fucking queers, man. Hell yeah. Like, all right, cool. I'm sure that's where God got upset. He saw two dudes fucking touch each other's wieners, and now he's mad.
Now he's angry forever.
Yeah, but quit it.
Jamie Raskin, dude, like, we know who the fuck this is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, one would think he would know the fucking public. Like, I don't get it, dude.
Why would he know anything?
Gotta know the Constitution, right, to have this job? Shouldn't there be a fucking quiz at least when you get in? I mean, this is fucking crazy to me.
There's no requirement for that.
I know.
I mean, do you think George Santos knows the Constitution? Hello?
Hello?
He doesn't know a goddamn thing.
But he's not there anymore, you know? And this guy is.
Yeah,
this guy is. Son of a bitch.
To be fair, I would find it funny to watch federal agents storm and arrest a bunch of dudes LARPing as medieval knights in a park.
Oh, shit. What about a Ren Fair then?
What do you do then? As long as McLovin was in the crowd.
Yeah.
Then I'd be into it, yeah.
What do you classify a Ren Fair?
Yeah. But here, like, these people will never stop coming after your right to defend yourself and your community. It is, no matter what republic or empire you're in the entire history of human beings, the aristocracy, the state, will slowly erode your ability to defend yourself.
Mm-hmm. It'll keep happening forever, by the way. It's not going to stop.
That's what Jefferson meant by the tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. And, you know, we've brought this on ourselves. You can solve these problems early on a lot easier by just saying no, instead of, you know, stuffing your fat face with Hot Pockets and watching iPads and shit. Like, get involved in your community and shit like that. But once you wait a certain amount of time, then you have to cut cancer out. Mm-hmm. And that's a violent process.
Next up, last but not least, the last story today. Taylor Swift flight tracker. Taylor Swift sent a cease and desist letter to a man who tracks her private jet location on social media. But he's claiming the pop star is providing contradicting information. Jack Sweeney's account at Taylor Swift Jets was suspended by Meta platforms, Instagram, Threads, and Facebook. Are we still saying that Threads is a real thing? Are we doing that?
I don't know anyone that uses it.
I have never met one person who's like, oh, follow me on Threads. The Forbes 30 under 30 entrepreneur uses bots to monitor the location of celebrities' jets and reports the information to the public with the goal of transparency, and public information, especially in tracking carbon emissions. Taylor is not the only star that he tracks, but her team did serve him a cease and desist letter citing concerns about the pop princess's safety. He told The Mirror, it's worth noting, as reported by the Washington Post, that this letter surfaced days after headlines criticized her jet use and its carbon emissions. A year prior, her team informed the media that her jet is seldom used by her and is often ever loaned out. These statements contradict each other, much like her team's response to owning a single jet, which has only been true for the past 2 weeks. All right, so with this one here, a couple things, because I actually know most of this. One, she just sold her jet yesterday, I believe. Now, whether it was in response...
No. She sold her second jet.
Correct. Now,
and then she's going to buy a new one.
Right. So whether it's in response to this guy, that's what I can't figure out, because I find it odd, the timing of this, of like, sends the cease and desist, sells the second jet immediately, to then only seem like you have one jet, but then there is rumors that she is going to get another jet. I have no fucking idea here. Now, what's interesting about this, because every celebrity is a fucking liberal, essentially here, and they all care about the climate change and carbon emission, yet they're all taking fucking private jets everywhere, is she didn't even place in the top 30.
No. And I don't give it...
Of people with private jet use, as far as celebrities go, which is crazy to me, because she travels all over the world.
I don't give a shit about that.
I don't either.
Like, I want... If there was a video out there of her... Remember coal rolling? Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. Bob, look up coal rolling on YouTube or something.
Rolling coal.
Yeah, rolling coal, brother.
If they were out there, I know it doesn't work this way, unfortunately, but if if her PJ pilot was just revving the engine of the plane with a middle finger out the window, that would be hilarious to me.
Hell
I don't
yeah,
give
brother.
two fucks about the environment, dude.
I don't either, dude.
Fuck the god. Like, here we go.
Yeah.
This was in what, the 2012 to 2015 range, where everybody was bitching about gas cars and people just started losing their shit.
Yeah.
There's way better ones than this. There's one.
This is a good one. That's a good one, though.
There's one with like those fucking the pipes coming out of the top of the back of a truck, and then some dude is just like got his face over it and shit. Yeah, this is a
Look
decent
at
one.
this, dude.
Just, yeah, fuck the environment and fuck you, bitch. That's how I feel about the environment. I could not care less. Now, it is funny that he's showing all these celebrities and how fucking full of shit they are, I guess. But
This was the same guy that Musk tried to get taken down, I believe.
well, he booted him off all his platforms for sure. But yeah, it's like I think that part's funny, so I don't know why he can't just provide the data without showing the real-time locations and stuff.
Yeah, so I look
because like one dude showed up at the airport when Musk was with his kid, and saw and like was like trying to accost him outside. Like that's not cool, man.
So and that's where I agree with the statement by Taylor Swift. What a cease and desist will do, I'm not really sure, but as far as security goes, yeah, dude, she's the biggest goddamn star in the world. Like, no, I don't think people should be able to give out your essentially tracking them.
Isn't it public information?
It is technically, yeah. It's easy.
It's just a UCF student.
It's relatively easy to find.
It is, but it's like, man, dude, at some point, like with Musk and his kid, Taylor Swift and everything, I mean, how many people have broken into our goddamn houses in the last 2 months alone? It's a lot. Like this one I agree with. Like, stop tracking these fucking people because one day it's going to end up bad and she'll fucking be John Lennon.
Yeah, just hold on to the data for like 2 days and then publish it.
Yeah, and be like,
instead
hey, man,
of it being
she was in
real
Tokyo
time.
Because
what he's doing is mirroring he's providing like a large social presence for the real-time data. I think that's probably not necessary because the average Joe on Twitter is not going to be able to find it because they're retarded.
No, but this is for the message boards tracking coaches on the move.
Yeah, our players. And
I mean, if you're
like
tracking college football coaches, then that's fine, because nobody's going to attack them.
Well,
nah.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, exactly, man. There's a couple that I'd like to kill.
Which one are you going after first? Was it you that took down Mike Leach?
No, I would never take down.
No, I liked Mike Leach.
My pirate.
Yeah. But ask Ohio State fans if they would have taken down Ryan Day's jet back to Columbus after that Michigan game. And a lot of people looking for that account, friend. I can promise you that. Now it's time for the Drinkin' Bro of the Week. We got a couple here. You can hop up around the side. While you're walking on over here, we got a couple listeners here. They're going to come up. Bob, pull up drinkinbros.com. Our merch store is back up and better than ever. Bro Box is going to be available next month over there. Oh, look at that. Shit. Go to the first one. The Crime Corner shirts are up there with Jesse. They're actually recording that in the back here right after this show is over. Those shirts are available. The Goof Juice shirts are up and at 'em. Noah Please. We got the Noah Please shirts up there. We got a ton of stuff. What else was there? Was another one that was just added to the store too. Was it the Jared one, Dan? That one's my favorite. That's one of my favorite designs.
This is the newest stuff added. There's Noah. There's,
oh, yeah. Pop up Noah, please. Oh, yeah, the Texas one. That's it.
Come and take it.
Come and take it with the barbed wire down there. Those have been selling a lot, dude. Also seen people trying to replicate those, which is fun. The Drinkin' Bros trucker hat. What are those going for?
$39.99.
God damn it. Those are my favorite. Jesse fucking jacked mine. I bought it. I wore that motherfucker for like a week. I love that hat so much, and she fucking jacked it, dude. My wife jacked it and wore it to a party, and she was like, "Isn't this?" I was like, "Yeah, but I mean, that's the only one I bought. Like, it's too big for your head." But we got everything. Everything is stocked up on the store. Go to drinkinbros.com. Get all your merch. Hard AF merch is up there. Everything fully loaded. Bro boxes will be available next month. Subscribe to those. Those are a fucking blast every month. Go ahead and pull that microphone about an inch from your face there, friends. Boom. Yeah, you can look right in there. Boom.
All righty.
Yeah. How do you feel looking at yourself there?
It's pretty nice.
Is it?
Official podcast.
That's the way I feel when I look at myself every day. God damn, Ross, you look pretty nice. Shiny today. I'm hot. It's warmer here in
a little
Texas
steamy now
it's
this
fine.
week.
Who gives a shit?
Last week.
Tell everybody your name.
My name's Will. Garner's my last name.
Yeah. How old are you, Will?
I'm 22.
Fuck.
Yes, sir.
Look at you,
23
dude.
this year.
What do you do?
Right now I sell insurance.
No shit.
Yes, sir.
What kind?
Farmer's insurance. It's either health or it's property. Mostly property right now.
Really?
Yes, sir.
I gotta fucking get new property insurance.
Is that right?
You want to give me a card?
I could probably hook you up.
All right. I'm not kidding.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome.
On a house.
I definitely would.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. You give me your card. I'm not kidding. I'll fucking call you.
Got you right after.
Yeah. Crazy story about it. I'll tell you after the show. But I'm switching from somebody else. It's a fun one. You'll like it.
Gotcha.
But how long you been listening to the show?
Actually, quite recently, my buddy Reese over here, he's a longtime listener. Obviously, he knows when y'all started and everything.
Yeah.
But pretty recent, I would say, within the past couple months. You know, I've just started listening more and more.
Welcome to the fucking crew, bro.
Appreciate y'all.
You get to
Good
come
be here.
in. You get to drink hard AFs because you're over
Dude, those
21
are
years
good.
old.
I hate seltzers usually, but that's probably one of the best seltzers I've had.
And it's fucking
honestly.
8%, dude.
It's like juice, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. And then you end up blacking out. You're
Yeah,
like,
right.
holy shit.
I was feeling it after about 3/4 of just one.
Yeah,
it's
you're
like
welcome.
wine.
You're welcome. You want to? You and your buddy can take some cases with it.
Hey, that'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Who do you want to give Drinking Bro of the Week to?
Man, it's hard. I don't want to give it to myself. I'll probably give it to my buddy Reese. He got me here.
Okay. I like giving it to yourself. I don't know that anybody's ever given it to themselves.
It'd definitely be my buddy Reese over there, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I've known him since we were little. And he gave me this opportunity to show my face. You know
That's
what I mean?
awesome, dude. Yeah, we got 1,000 live people
Yes, sir.
watching live right now. So cheers,
Awesome.
you guys. We appreciate you stopping by the show.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to be on?
No,
you want
get
to
up
play? He's
here.
like, nah, dude.
Get up here.
I can't do that shit. What does Reese do in real life?
He's doing basically the same thing I am. He's more health focused.
Oh, on the health side?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
So yeah, yes, sir.
Cheers. Yeah, come on up, Reese. Come on up. Because when you're leaving here, you're going to be taking a shit ton of fucking seltzer with you.
He already denied you twice.
On what?
The day before. He's been here this
Yeah,
week.
he said.
Did you fucking deny me, bro?
cases, but I did get some drugs.
You know, I have face blindness and time blindness. Okay.
Probably meet a lot of people.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's endless. It's endless every single day, and I'm like, all right, cool, man. And everybody's white, so it's like, you know, like we remember our black friends, but you guys, not a prayer.
No. Sometimes I'll show up to the studio and be like, "Oh, there's seltzer, in the fridge. Help yourself."
It's totally true.
Listen to the show.
It's totally
like,
true.
Are you a fan? I'm like, "Yeah, I work here, man."
Yeah, that's true. And then the other of like me not remembering like when guests were on, it was like, oh, was that like 2 months ago? I'm like, nope, 3 years. 3 years, friends.
How many episodes are y'all at?
Shit. So total, it's over 1,700 just for Drinkin' Bros. But then what people forget is Drinkin' Bros Sports and then Ross Patterson Revolution. So me personally, I'm up around 3,500.
Yeah.
Total shows.
It's a full-time job.
Jesus Christ, 8 years. So yeah, man. I mean, I've got to be close to a record of some form.
Yeah,
Howard Stern's got me by 30, 40 years or whatever, but I'll never catch him.
Depends how long you do it.
But Rogan I've beat for sure. Like
Yeah.
I've almost doubled Rogan. So, and some would say the show's better. I'm kidding. Love you, Joe. Love you, Joe.
Well, hopefully the 10-year anniversary shows up when y'all are.
The 10-year anniversary when we leave, yeah, that'd be great, and we can burn this place down. Dance around it like wild engines. It's just like they said in Shawshank at the end of it. We'll burn books. What if we just brought that back? We just started burning books, dude. You know, just stacked them up in the studio and just burned a bunch of books.
Last time that was a big thing. It wasn't too good. Especially over in Europe.
Was it?
Things weren't too. Happy.
Reese, did you give out Drinking Bro of the Week?
No, I haven't.
All right. Well, slide on in here. Grab the mic. It's flexible. And so am I. Yeah, you're welcome. Nailed it. Put that about an inch from your face there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give it to this guy. That's kind of gay. But
you get a deep voice, Reese. I like it.
Well, last time I was on, I was talking really quiet because I was used to like talking quiet around. Didn't want to interrupt the show or anything.
Yeah.
And I came on, I was still like whispering. Totally didn't realize it. But I was also a couple of hard AFs.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Yeah. But my Drinking Brother week has got to be Ryan Rock.
Okay.
He doesn't listen to the show. I'm trying to get him to listen more.
What the fuck does Ryan Rock do? That he doesn't listen to the show?
He's listening to a lot of he's following his faith right now in Christianity, trying to really dive deep.
I could be your fucking personal Jesus, bro.
Honestly, I say that you guys are pretty good pastors. I mean,
I agree.
Preach the right thing,
Yes.
Just be a good person, do all the drugs you want. I mean, what's wrong with that?
Responsibly. You know, if you think there's fentanyl, obviously give them to a lesser person.
Yeah, like a hobo.
A hobo to try out and be like, hey, man, I need you to try this first.
I mean, try and get some free advertising out of it, or if you can.
That's it. You know. That's all you got to do. So he's listening to, what is he doing? The Hallow app?
Well,
is he staying prayed up with the Hallow app?
He's, just kind of diving into himself. Does not listening to any idol necessarily, but like certain people, maybe like Vodi Bakum or people like that. But
I don't know who that is.
It's just a black preacher.
He listens to black preachers? Is he white?
He's a good one though.
Is he?
He's not. I mean, not really in your face, like screaming at you, but. He's
and the Lord
right
says
thing.
you got to rise up. None of that, huh?
No, not necessarily. Okay. With like the choirs behind him and all that.
Yeah, for sure.
Hallelujah.
I'll say this. So black churches, being from Atlanta, like 'cause I went to a few, way better than white churches. I mean, it's not even close. Dude.
The energy's different.
It's a fucking party. And the reason why they're sweating in all those videos you see, there's no fucking AC in there. So like this used to be a church. This was a Pentecostal church. The guy, when I went to, when Dan and I bought these buildings, they had, I think, 5 months left on their lease, 4 or 5 months left on their lease, and we couldn't break it. And they were like, hey, so the church has got to stay for like 5 more months. We're like, all right, cool. And then we built over it. Well, I would come to pick up the check, and one night I was running late, and I came, and I was during a fucking sermon. Black preacher and the whole, yeah, you got this. He's got the snakes and all the fucking shit. And I'm like, holy shit. Black lady was running the front of the house, and she goes, hey, do you want to stay? And I was like, no, I think I'm going to bounce. Although it was entertaining as shit, but he was sweating his ass off. Now, why is that important? When we stripped this place and got it and got rid of everything else, what we figured out from the tile, and Lloyd Burke, one of our listeners, homie of the show here, did all the tiles and all this stuff, is there was so much water damage in here, and I was like, what is it from? Like, is it come as a... Do we have to get a new roof? Do we have to do a new thing or whatever? And I was like, no. What they were doing was, because you're only doing church on Sundays, occasionally a Saturday, they were turning off the AC. So when you do that in a Texas or a Georgia or whatever all week long, you can crank it back up. It's not going to work that great for the... Yeah, it's going to take a while. It's not going to work for the first couple hours. So, like, it's still fucking hot. Those motherfuckers are shutting off the air to save on electricity. I understand why financially. Yeah. But my God, man, it's you're sweating the whole time. You got to rise up. But I think it helps you preach better.
Yeah, I mean, it adds that level of energy there behind it.
You feel like the devil's underneath you. You're sweating your ass off. You're like, oh, shit, if I don't preach better, the devil's underneath me. We got to rise up. I've had some drinks today, kids. I'm not going to lie. It's been a fun show. It's been a fun week. It's going to get even better tomorrow. Join us on our Super Bowl extravaganza show on Drinkin' Bros Sports with Uncle Laser and that piece of shit, Gary Faust. He will be here as well. All the picks from mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros will double that first deposits all the way up to $1,000. You know how I end these shows. Go to iTunes, rate the show 5-star, and leave a quick review. Head on over to Spotify. It's just a 5-star, and you can walk away. When we get to 10,000 reviews, I will never say it again. I will shut the fuck up. Odd thing happened when I woke up this morning. I looked at Spotify to check it. We're at 8,000. So we're getting fucking close. So maybe I'll never have to say it. iTunes, we're at 7,100. You got to bump those up, dude. Just get it to 10 on both, and we're good, dude. I'm all done. But you guys are getting there on Spotify. And I think just because it's a 5-star and that's it, like you actually have to type in something on iTunes. But do it, you fuckers. It's a free show.
Stop leaving 4 stars.
Yeah, it's a free show, dude. Just leave all I'm asking you is to leave a fucking 5-star. Like, that's it? Come on, man. You're better than that. Pick up the phone and do it now, all right? For D'Anthony Hollaway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is Drinkin' Bros Fake News. Good night, everyone.